to California.
January 16th, 2021. Hello friends, it's Michael here with California Travel Videos, and we are on day 2 of our sojourn, going from Northern California to Quartzsite, Arizona. And it's great weather, I gotta say. It's 77 degrees out here already, and this is like 9:30 in the morning. Wow. I think they said the high was 84 when I looked online, so yeah, it's toasty. I don't think it's going to be quite that warm in Quartzsite, Arizona, but we shall see. At any rate, I want to start this morning. You know, I have a lot of quiet time here. I miss you, Grace. I hope you're doing well today. And for the rest of you out there, too, I hope you're having a great start for your 2021 year. I didn't spend a lot of time thinking about my New Year's resolutions, if you know what I mean. But I thought about it last night during my quiet time, and I've got to say, here where I'm at the Bass Pro's outlet, I'm going to go back in today. I got in about 15 minutes before closing time last night, just thinking it would be a good spot to spend the night, and I should go inside and ask, which I'll get to in a second, if it's okay to spend the night. And when I was there, I just was so impressed by the people that were there. You know, they were definitely outwardly focused. So often, it's okay to have self and situational awareness, to be inwardly focused, but I think it speaks about to our brand. This year I'm going to try to make this one of my resolutions on my brand, to be a little bit better listener. Now, Grace, I know what you're thinking out there. I'm going to try doing that with my wife too. So at any rate, no, I think it's good to know who you are and what you want to become, and always make progress in your life. So, yeah, I've got to say that they were really good last night. I did ask to spend the night, see if it would be okay if I could sleep in the parking lot, which I understand that people in Cabellas could do. And it turns out when I searched for Cabellas in Southern California, it sent me to Bass Pro. I thought it was Cabellas. And I thought, uh-oh, they're different stores. Well, it turns out yes and no. I just did a little Google search, and 3.5 years ago, Bass Pro's bought all the Cabela stores. They still keep the name, but for a $4 billion acquisition and change, I'm sure, they now are all one and the same. So I guess they have likely the same policies. And out here in California, I know up by Sacramento, there's a Bass Pro's. And so the people were really good there. I really felt like they were the outwardly focused, the outies, not the innies. We're not talking about belly buttons here. And so, yeah, I'd like to have a better balance between those this year. You know, I went in there and I asked about whether or not I could spend the night. There was a little doubt, but they said, let's ask somebody. And they asked another one of the assistants. And I said, well, let's get the manager. So the manager came over, and we had about at least a 10 or 15 minute talk. He said, yeah, if you want to spend the night, give me your license number and your full name. And I told him a description of the vehicle, and it was good to go. So I think that's really nice, you know, when you have that personalized touch and where they show they care. So I'm going to go back in and do some shopping. I am sold on Bass Pro's and Cabela's, great stores. So we're going to go in and do some shop till you drop before we head off on the road. I think we're about 3 hours away to Quartzsite, Arizona, so not too far to go. Should be there in the early afternoon, which is always good to get settled before darkness and see if I can meet some of my fellow colleagues who do YouTubing out there in the desert. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. It says it's a work zone, 55 mile an hour speed limit. I'm going 60. I haven't passed anybody. Everyone seems to be pedal to the metal. Wind turbines doing their thing. Wouldn't want to be a bird trying to navigate between those, but I guess they're not going that fast. Hundreds more, maybe thousands down there. Oh my gosh. Everywhere. Not much of a river there is. It's all kind of rocky. But when the flash floods come, they come fast and furiously. Don't kid yourself. You get up close to them, you can see just how big they are. I don't know, 100 feet, better part of it. I was hearing just on the news yesterday, was it? Maybe day before, about some that are taller than the Washington, D.C. monument. You know, that's 555 feet tall. I mean, seriously? A 600-foot high wind turbine? Wow. Yeah, if you've got some good air up there, there it goes again. Says we're up to too high. So, yeah, I might pull over and let some air out of that white front tire. They put too much in it when it was replaced. Give me a good health break here. Signs always have an opportunity to crack you up. You know, crispy chicken del tacos, and the next one is cannabis drive-through, exit now. Well, you know, I was having a little bit too much pressure in my tire. I wasn't thinking I would buy cannabis. Like, how does that work anyway? You know, there's no open container for alcoholic beverages. That'll get your ticket. So
turn right at the traffic light.
Okay, I will, because I'm gonna let some air out of the tire, and I guess it's telling me that to get back on the freeway, I guess I'm not going to get back on right here again. You even see some sagebrush growing out in the cracks of the concrete there. Yeah, you know they're got to be tough there. No rain, nothing there, but look at that. Growing just out of the cracks in the sidewalk. Okay, Palm Springs City Limit, it says, actually. And I guess we're going to get an opportunity, if I wanted to or not, to go through a little bit of Palm Springs. By the way, on the south side of the freeway is where you have less wind because of the San Jacinto Mountain. If you're on the other side, I know there's a Del Webb community, they get a lot of wind. And guess what? They get a ton of sand.
2 miles. Turn left on East Vista.
Thank you. But there's a ton of sand that can end up coming through your sliding glass doors. So something to consider if you're thinking about moving down here. Try to stay on the south side of Interstate 10 freeway. Speaking of signs, I just crossed a sign that had Euro lift and showed a side profile of a woman. I'm not sure what part of gravity she wanted to have lifted, if it was the face, the chest, or I just don't know. But I just think it's amusing how you see signs that are oriented for the target audience. A Euro lift. Maybe you know what that is, I don't. Hey, we must be right by the airport, speaking of which.
Turn left at the traffic light.
Look at that baby going up quick. Well, I guess if you're going in the wind, you can get altitude quickly. Wow. Okay, turning left here. Oh, speaking of brand, Walmart, don't you love that their brand? Look at this. 4 words. Save money, live better. Think about that. Saving is very powerful. And talking about money and coupled with it, yes. And being alive, living, yes. Live better. Man, whoever is in their marketing department knew what they were doing. Save money, live better. I'll buy it. This is incredible, isn't it? It is just desert, sand, rock, sagebrush, not much else. A couple shrub trees. Oh, some palm trees every once in a while. I don't know if they're natural. I suspect they might be. But hard to imagine that they'll take a spot like that and make it to a golf course. No, they don't get our Northern California water. If you saw the video yesterday, I talked about the Sacramento and American River going down the California Viaduct. But down here, they have another river they get it from, the mighty Colorado River. And yeah, that goes right through the mountain with a huge, huge tunnel. It is truly incredible how they can move water as they do to get it to California. Well, so you know the saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. Yeah, I have a tire pressure gauge somewhere. I have a bin where I keep stuff. You know, you throw everything in that's kind of odds and ends, some of it tools. Didn't see it. Maybe it's in the glove box, I don't know. There's things you just wonder where they go. But anyway, I just had a nice small toolbox, or not even toolbox, set of tools, probably electrical tools. So we're going to go ahead and, I used to have a lock on the tire pressure monitor, but I took it off. I don't think you really need one. I'm not too worried. If they do steal it, then hey, I'll just buy another. So we'll just use a small screwdriver. Phillips probably does a better job. So the big question is when do you know you've got it to about the right? Boy, the air that's coming out, it is hot. So yeah, it's quite, even though it's January, it's like, man, pretty warm day. And so the tires get the pavement and they get a lot of pressure, increases the air pressure. You think that's about right? 77 pounds, you think we got to 70? I don't know. Anyway, let's go back inside and see where we're at. Cycling through the 6, each one goes about 5 seconds. Temperature's running, oh there we go, it's down to, what, 60? Wow, I did do good. Maybe a little too good. Well, okay, I may have to add some air at some point, especially when it's cold and the temperature goes down, but right now, my baby doll, Grace, look what she got me. Payday! Especially these little small ones, they're good, although I think they have a higher ratio of sugar. I wish they had a little bit more nuts, but hey, beggars can't be choosers, so it's going to be time for a little pick-me-up. And oh, by the way, how are we doing on our solar today? Pretty good, 24 minutes, and we'll be back up to 100%. We're 96%, and we're getting about 220 watts right now. Boy, you'd think it might be even more, but I guess it's still the winter time, so the sun's at a lower angle, but pretty good, considering we got 400 watts worth of panels. So I'm a happy camper, and I think we used, it holds about a kilowatt. They say it's 1300 watts, but you don't get full efficiency of the output, so I think I used about 500 watts last night on various things, editing for about 3 hours, something like that. Anyway, let's go back on the road and do it to it. Heading for Blythe and beyond, and it looks like now our ETA for Quartzsite is 410. Not too bad. Okay, we have reached Blythe city limits. And a good place to get fuel. I guess we could wait to Quartzsite, but I think I'll go ahead and fuel up here. But wait, there's more. Do you think I'm going to fill up on the California or on the Arizona side? Yeah, I know the governor, Newsom, needs tax money, but, well, the devil made me do it. I'm going to wait till I get across the border and fill up on the other side. I think that's what most people do these days. So, I'm not sure the difference. I'm guessing it would be 30 to 50 cents a gallon difference. And you would think the roads would be much better in the California side. As I've mentioned, this money is supposed to go for our roads, but I don't know. I think it's going to take quite a few years before our roads catch up to Arizona and Nevada, at least a lot of the ones I've seen. But that's another story. Oh, and another thing I'm looking for is right over to the left. Cell tower. Yeah, if there's no reception in Quartzsite and I need to upload some videos to communicate with you all, then I may be coming back this way, which means I'm going to do a speed test and see what kind of bandwidth we've got. I'd like to be able to upload at least 5 megabytes per second. Megabits, wouldn't it be nice if it was megabytes? 5 to 10 megabits per second if possible. So we'll see what kind of cell reception we have here in this area before we head out to the very congested Quartzsite. Colorado River, where are you? Not that I want to get out of California, mind you. I love California. I love Arizona prices. I know, we want the best of both worlds, don't we? That's a pretty good sized city. Went through it a couple of years ago when I was at Quartzsite, and man, they've had problems after the Great Recession. A lot of problems. I don't know what the area is where you live, but you go through some of these cities and it's sad. You keep hoping that the economies can get back together. I know every president has been hoping for it. I guess it was at the end of George Bush's tenure is when the Great Recession hit, based upon that credit default swap stuff. We'll just say stuff. But President Obama had 8 years and did a little bit, I guess. Well, the economy got back together. And the last 4 years, the stock market's gone up, but I don't know if the jobs have really come back. And then with the COVID this last year, no political connotations here, but it has been tough times for the little guy and a lot of businesses as well. And indeed it is. The mighty Colorado River. I love it. Beautiful. Okay, we are in Arizona. We just lost an hour of our lives, but we'll get it back when I go back. And I think that is a trailer park, and right by there, as I recall, is where I spent, yeah, there's an RV park. That's the one. Has a couple hundred spots, as I recall. Nice place if you need a spot to stay before you go in. And I think I am going to pull over and get some fuel. Okay, time for a little speed test at Blythe on Saturday at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. What you got for me? Nice upload. It looks like it's heading towards 20. It's over 20. Do we hear 20? 17, 18, 20, 23, 25, 27, 28. Woo! 30 megabits. Download speed. Oh my god. It teased me. It gave 40 for a second. Well, peaked at 48, but upload. Let's see upload. Kind of bounces a bit, doesn't it? So yeah, it looks like it's going to be about 20 megabits per second upload speed for YouTube videos to you all. Just about a mile inside Quartzsite. Oh, I think I was a sucker. I went to the border city. It's 249 here. I wonder if it's the bio. I don't like the bio. I like the number 2 diesel, but wow. Well, still happy enough. But lesson learned is that sometimes don't go to the very first one inside of the border. They are pretty clever people here in Arizona.
Have you been to California? Seen the sights and people there?